Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. How you guys doing? And lighting isn't too good, but we'll do, we'll do. You know what I'm saying? So and I know I haven't been on in a whole minute, so I feel re-inspired again. I'm gonna start doing ones, inshallah, on the daily. So first off, well, foremost, I hope that you guys are doing very well. I have some new subscribers. Thanks to a comment that I left on brother Jordan M's page. Jordan M is a white revert from the UK. By all means, check out his channel. He is a good brother. His content is really good. I really like his. He does. I think he got kicked off of TikTok, but he did a lot of TikToks and streams where he has this character named Dave or whatever like that. He has a character named Dave, and basically Dave is like a stereotypical British bloke, if you will, and he basically has questions about Islam. He's kind of ignorant to it, and he's kind of has Islamic phobic views, racist views and stuff like that. And then Jordan M's character, who he kind of plays himself, basically is educating the guy and giving light dawah to the dude. So it's pretty entertaining to see that. But I left a comment on Jordan M's page, and basically he did a video about black reverts and how we're not usually visible. And I'm really glad that brother used his platform to do that, because I personally feel that way in my personal life. Not that I'm quote marginalized in the sense like, oh, I'm being oppressed or anything like that. No, but I do feel that sometimes, especially when you go to a masjid, you kind of are invisible. In a lot of times, I kind of had to learn to put myself out there. You know what I mean? I had to learn to put myself out there, and in particular, finding a masjid and a community that you really resonate with. So a community that really resonates with me is, when near university campuses, because there's younger people that usually go there. And, I'm still fairly young, you know what I'm saying? So I gravitate to be around my peer group, people who I consider my peers, whatnot. So that being said, let me try to see if I can get this lighting situation a little bit better. That's a little better. I don't know what's going on. Usually the lighting is good, but it just looks really dark on this. I don't know. But anyway. Oh, yeah, it's also the lighting on my laptop. So anyway, shout out to Jordan M. Thank you for him having that opportunity. So if you're new to this channel, welcome to the conversation. So the title of this video is something that I've been meaning to talk about, and I think about it a lot when I'm going about my daily business, and I met a brother recently. Shout out to my brother Terrence. I met another revert brother, and bro, this guy's knowledge is immaculate. I mean, I've been revert for, almost 7 years now. He has way more knowledge than even I do, and he's been a revert for like way shorter. But anyway, I really click with the brother, you know what I'm saying? Wish him the best, you know what I mean? Hopefully one day we can link up on his channel and collaborate, inshallah. But that being said, this is a topic that can be anybody that can relate to, especially if you are, a man, obviously, right? This is about masculinity. And only biologically born men, I think, can understand this topic and where I'm going to come from, and especially ones in the that are in the West, right? Western countries, because there's big conversations right now of what is masculinity and what does it mean, and the topics of feminism and this and that and the third, right? And especially in these YouTube streets, a lot of YouTube conversations is YouTube. There is the radical feminist channels, and then and then there's a mainstream feminist narrative, and they kind of get egged on by the radical feminists. The kind of radical feminists are constantly egging on the mainstream feminists that accept some of their viewpoints gradually over time, right? Because we know that feminism happened in different waves, right? We're currently in third wave feminism. Pretty soon we're going to be in fourth wave, because third wave has been going on for like about 20 years right now, 20, almost 30 years, since like the late 80s, early 90s, right? So, and then as a reaction to that, you have, the red pill movement, you have the black pill movement, you have, that the whole pill theology, people get into purple pill, blue pill, all that kind of stuff, right? And I'm not gonna really take time to analyze all of those. I'm just giving you the overview, right? So dig this. And then there's also the radical side of that, because honestly, a lot of those guys really aren't radical. It's more of a philosophy on how they apply it to their lives. So the media sometimes tries to depict different groups as the dark outliers of this group. So not all people involved in these communities are misogynist and chauvinist and hate women and stuff like that. But there are some that do use those platforms to kind of expose their grievances, if you will, that end up coming across to a lot of people as being that, right? So that being said, that also ties into the incel movement. The whole incel movement was the reaction to feminism, and and we can see how that movement has panned out over the years as it gets more radicalized as well. So I titled this "Sins of the Father" because there's that saying, "Sins of the father should not rest upon the son." And I say that because the generation of men these days, we are living with on our shoulders the failures of every generation of men before us. While I personally believe that women, they have on their shoulders the successes of every generation of women before them. They constantly are, they're aware of, the things they weren't able to do and that now they can do, and different roles in society they can play into and things like that. For men, we're being told that we were always problematic. We always wanted to oppress our women. Toxic masculinity. We're all misogynist. We all have ingrained sexism. We're all are ingrained with problematic things that hurt the fairer sex and things like that. Even the concept of them being a fairer sex somehow is oppressive in and of itself. And historically, yes, of course, men did terrible things. All you need to do is pick up a history book. I mean, nobody tries to hide this, right? It's freaking obvious, right? However, it's always looked upon from a narrow view of each generation of men just inherently picks up the torch and does all this stuff. And women don't understand that a lot of the men that did those things did it for their approval. They did, like, the Western man in particular, the imperialist that went around the world, dominated everyone and stuff like that. He did that so his family back home could be afforded a life, and his generations and his offspring could be afforded a lifestyle that he couldn't get, right? To steal the wealth of other countries and take it back home, to steal the treasures and artifacts of different countries and bring it back home, the technologies, bring it back home, so his children could have a better life than him, right? And so his wife would never need for anything, right? Because we know that traditionally, for the longest time, women stayed at home, and if they did work, they worked around the house, right? Or if they were farmers and stuff like that, sheep herders and stuff, they stayed at home, right? It wasn't until the Industrial Revolution that became normalized for more women to be in the workforce, right? So he did all those things to provide a better lifestyle for his mate, right? And we see that still going on today. Like, we have all these things like women still want to go out and go in the workplace and own their money, but they still want their husband or their boyfriend to, at the very least, be 50-50. And they'll say they want 50-50, but at the same time, what they're really saying is they want their own money and they want their boyfriends to still stipend their income and basically help provide a lifestyle that's comfortable for them. Because let's face it, most divorces, the big reason, from what I've seen, from the data that I've seen, is wholly based upon the financial aspect, right? And money is more important than love, right? To a lot of people. I mean, they'll say this and that. I mean, that's they'll say, oh, they want somebody to love with and compatible, but the people that I see these people get with if they didn't make a decent income or provide them a certain lifestyle, they wouldn't be with them. Like, and who cares how handsome your boyfriend or handsome your husband is? If your husband did not make enough money or have some kind of status to provide a comfortable lifestyle for you, you wouldn't be with them. Oh, wa alaikum salam, brother. Wa alaikum salam. I'm assuming that you're a guy because you're on the topic. If you're a sister, I'm sorry if I offended you. But welcome to the conversation. In a minute, I'm gonna open up, send you the link, and you can kind of get into this conversation. Actually, let me do that right now because you know what? It's been a while since I've done a stream. So you know, if I got somebody on right now, you know, you're welcome to come post up. You know what I'm saying? Let me see where you're coming from. I'm a guy. Oh, alhamdulillah. These days, yeah, you gotta be careful, right? You gotta be careful. Alhamdulillah. Yeah. So, this generation of men, we have the weight of our shoulders of our forefathers and all the things that they did that were negative, just because of what's in between our legs and what gender and what sex we are, we're automatically associated with that. And we have to, quote, atone for it in society. That's what demasculinization is coming in. A lot of women, Western women in particular, really love the power of belittling their man. They love the power that they now have of making their men feel inferior to them. You know? What's up, Nicer? How's it going? Word. I know, yeah, this is the first time I've done one in a long time. Yeah. Here's the link. You're welcome to come in on this conversation too. But modern day women, you look at the media, you look at music, a lot of the music these days is not about women uplifting their men. Like women and the previous times when we were warriors, right? There's stories like ancient Greece, like the mother saying, hey, either you're coming back with your shield or you're going to be on top of it. Insinuating, hey, you're going to either fight and die in battle and die a worthy death, or, you know, don't come back home at all. If you're going to come back home, come home dead. Or come back victorious, right? Women always, but when men went off to hunt, to gather things, the woman encouraged them and said, hey, I got your back. The home's going to be ready. The kids are going to be well taken care of. Go out, literally bring home the bacon. You know what I'm saying? Like literally go out and hunt, kill the deer, go fight off, the people that are invading us and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that, Nicer. Alhamdulillah. But, yeah, go off and do what you need to do for us to survive. But these days, men are coming home from busting their butts at whatever job they have, right? It'd be blue collar, white collar, whatever, right? They're busting their tails at work, and what are they coming home to? They're coming home to somebody that doesn't have any gratitude for what they do. I mean, there's even guys that are dishing out whole paychecks to their spouses or to their girlfriends, taking them out all the time, doing this, doing that. And those people still have no gratitude towards their sacrifices. And why is that? It's entitlement, right? And I feel that we can't just blame women on the feminist side for this. We have to blame weak men also for doing this, because a lot of weak men raise their daughters with this sense of entitlement, right? They're daddy's little girl, right? Daddy's little girl didn't have to work for anything, right? Daddy's little girl got paid. Dad paid her way through college, right? Daddy paid her way through college. Daddy paid for the wedding. Daddy paid for the rent while she was going to school. Daddy still pays her rent when she gets out of school. Daddy buys her first car, second car, whatever like that, right? Daddy's the one that's paying for her trips to go out to freaking vacations, grown girls trips. And this creates a sense of entitlement. And I even see women not even show gratitude to their own fathers, right? Their fathers work super hard, to provide a comfortable lifestyle. And all you see, like some unfortunately, I see this all the time. All they do is complain about their dads. Oh, my dad did blah, blah, blah. My dad did this. My dad did that. He didn't let me do this. He didn't let me do that. And they don't show any freaking gratitude towards the sacrifices of their fathers. So I got Nicer up here. Let me bring on Nicer. What is up, Nicer? How's it going?
Oh, what's good, Zaki? How are you doing? How have you been doing?
Doing great. Alhamdulillah. I
That's
feel
good to
fantastic.
hear.
I'm sorry?
That's good to hear.
Yeah. Like I know it's been a while since I've done a stream or whatever. I'm getting back into it though. It's just the medications I've been taking or whatever like that, they make me feel really tired near the end of the day. So I've been going to bed a lot earlier, especially if I work out. I come home, work out, eat dinner, offer salah, which is, praying, and then I go to bed. But like I feel a little bit more energetic now, starting to drink more smoothies and stuff like that, trying to get my smoothie on.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
Hey,
but
health
I'm
comes
trying to get back
first.
into it. What have you been up to?
Uh, Not much. It's been raining a lot here this week, so I've just been staying home. Um, Barbecued the other day, first barbecue of the year, because it finally got nice around here in Minnesota where I'm at. But I'm good. I'm good to hear that you're doing a lot better. I believe health is the real true break we have in this lifetime, and it should be top priority in our lives.
Yeah, word.
Yep.
I'm glad to hear that. That's what's up. Yeah, I thought about this topic because there's a lot of guys, especially in these spaces, and also in my personal life, the way that I noticed that men talk about their relationships with either their spouses, girlfriends, significant other, whatever, you know what I'm saying? The way they talk about it to compare to the woman I know is for women, it just seems like it's like I don't really see any like the gripes and complaints except maybe if their husband's lazy or something like that, or maybe they don't have enough sex in the relationship, which is usually they'll keep that to themselves if they're ladylike, right? But for guys, it's like my wife, all she does is complain. My wife, doesn't like me doing this. My wife doesn't do that. Blah 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 blah. And it's just like it seems like marriage to men is like a downturn. You know what I'm saying? It's like why a lot of guys are like, why did I get married? But for women, it's like, hey, they get the best of both worlds. You know what I'm saying? Like they get a guy maybe that they're attracted to that they can lay up with at night, and then they get a roof over their head, and then they still are able to make their own money and live comfortably. You know what I'm saying? For guys, it's like, hey, I got to be with this one woman for the rest of my life. I can't cheat on her, or I mean, she's going to take all my stuff. She drives me crazy. She won't let me hang out with my friends. I have to give up my hobbies and all my interests to make her happy. I have to work my butt off to pay for both of us. See if she doesn't agree with how I want to raise my children. So we're conflicting on that, So it's crazy.
Yeah, see the thing about that, like all the things that you just described. See, when I was growing up, what I noticed, and this was before social media for all you young bucks, but the generally men speaking on relationships as far as personal experience goes, it was like they would describe all the things you just mentioned in general, and then they have that, oh, it is what it is, I can't do nothing about it attitude. But from what I've seen since I've been hanging around the Black manospheres, there are plenty of discussions of actually analyzing relationships, um, the positives and negatives, and so on and so forth, on a whole other level than I've seen when I've grown up. So I think that's a big plus, and I actually it's one of the reasons I don't do it as much. But when I first came around the Black manosphere, I would hang around the relationship topic live streams and such on different channels, because I was getting a whole different perspective to what it was, of what dating, relationships, and marriage is like on the man's side. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't getting that information or insight when I was growing up, because
Uh-huh.
men weren't really talking about it at the level that I see the men talking about it today. So I think that's a really good thing.
Yeah. And to some people, another thing about masculinity is men don't like to complain. That's something that we innately were kind of raised to be. Like, if you're a real man, you don't complain about things. And I think that sometimes it's a good thing, because one thing I noticed, especially these days, is some men, they complain about the most mundane crap. You know what I'm saying? And instead of talking about really important things, right? Like your finances, mental health, you know, maybe politics, spirituality and stuff. It's guys be like, oh man, can you believe my Jordans got messed up? Oh man, can you believe my video game is lagging? Oh man, can you believe I got like a hole in my shirt, you know, from doing this? And these are conversations that like a lot of guys will have all day with their friends, man. I'll be like going getting tea or getting something to eat on social media, and all I hear is just guys complaining about this stupid, mundane, gossipy things. Kind of like, and this is no diss to women whatsoever, but I'm just saying this is a female attribute that I see, especially young women. Women love to gossip. You know, it was kind of looked upon. There was a time and a place where men gossiping about little things like that was really frowned upon, but now I notice that like men love to gossip. You know what I mean? Like there's whole YouTube pages where it's just men gossiping about, oh, you know, who's so-and-so sleeping with? Could you believe that blah, blah, blah wore that shirt the other day? That looked kind of crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, to me, that was stuff that always like girls in high school did. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. And it's like there's a majority of the stories that I've seen get shared is guys, you know, in a that keep messing up, doing the same thing over and over again, and I'm seeing a pattern. And then there's the other kind of conversation where a guy is actually analyzing, you know, the type of women that he's continuously attracting and asking, or if he's someone like AMS who's like kind of like figured out, you know, what he calls female nature, and differentiating between learning and growing from your experiences, or from that to the majority of guys who are just continuously experiencing the same negative, toxic, you know, when it comes to their dating life. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. And one thing I see too is the power of manipulation. Says, okay, ABD, it says it won't let you use your mic. Oh, that sucks, man. I'm like, because like I'm literally looking on the screen right now. I'm trying to add you to the stream, but it says your devices aren't connected. So that's weird. That won't let you use your mic. That's pretty weird. You might have to go into your computer settings and see why it does that. Sometimes some computers automatically have that as a default setting for whatever reason, but I would love to have you on. So I'm not a computer geek, so I wouldn't be able to do it for you. Some people can do that and tap into people's computers and try to help them out, but I can't do that. I think it would like mess the stream up too on top of that. So, hey, brother, but I appreciate you trying to get on. If you figure that out, yeah, come back. Try to get your channel lit. Hey, I'll look for people to be on your live streams. Hey, yo, man, I'm always down, bro. Hit me up, bro. Yeah, you're on Shango's. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Yeah, Shango's my man, bro. You know, I've been following his stuff for a while, man. His videos are short and sweet, man, but he gets straight to the point. You know what I mean? And especially how he talks about actual black masculinity and what us as black men and what we're supposed to stand for. Man, I wholeheartedly support that. You know what I'm saying? He's not into that any of that sucker, you know, mentality, you know? And so wholeheartedly, I want to collab more with him. You know what I'm saying? It's just odd to kind of get in sync with his time frame. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, we can link up. We'll chop it up. Whoop de whoop. You know what I'm saying? So let's go. But nicer. Thank you. Express to that point. Well, what I was gonna get to is the power of manipulation. And one thing that women have over men is men are manipulative, but we're manipulative in a different way. We're more known for intimidating people into doing what we want to do. Right? We have an intimidating presence. Like, I'm a dark-skinned, tall, athletic black man. You know what I'm saying? I can rub some people off the wrong way just with my presence, right? And sometimes if people are vibing with me, though, my presence inspires people and gets people on my level just with my physical presence, right? it could be also through the way I speak, through the way I hold myself, right? Sometimes I'm talking on the phone and my voice sounds real deep, and people will be like, oh, hey, he sounds like he runs things. You know what I'm saying? That
Yeah, that
go ahead.
so you're straightforward. The way you articulate and express yourself in a straightforward way, straight to the point. That's something I really respect about people. But I can see it because I've known people like you in my own life with that same mannerism, who may come off as intimidating and I definitely hear you on the manipulation part. See, the thing that I've been working on a lot the past 10 years or so is learning how to tell the truth gently. I'm really careful with my words when it comes to that, because I strive to be more like my mother. I'm naturally soft spoken. She was too, but she was very quiet. See, if she was alive here in the digital media age, she would never do anything like get in any panel. She probably wouldn't even type in any comment section. She would probably just listen in the clouds, as they say. But I've she said this a lot. She drummed this into my brain before I was a teenager. She would just say she would say testify, but I knew what she meant. Being my mother was broken English, so she didn't know any English when she met my father. She learned with my baby sister. She learned to read and write when my baby sister went to school. They would sit down together and do the homework. But I knew when my mom said testify, she meant you use my voice, be a spokeswoman for the traditional woman, is what I was taking, what she was trying to tell me when I was still a little girl. So I take that even further, and I was like, I'm not just going to speak, but I'm going to try to tell the truth as gently as possible and respectfully as possible.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's a powerful point. I had to learn how to speak up for myself. I have a lot of siblings, so my dad raised me to kind of like be the loudest person in the room to get things done. Unfortunately, that doesn't work always. That rubs people off the long way. So I got my ABD. Sorry, I don't want to mispronounce your name. So I pronounce it like by the lettering and stuff like that. Please correct me on how to pronounce your name, because I don't want to come across to be disrespectful. Because
it's all right.
Oh yeah, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yeah, it's Abdul Rahman. It's a long name, but it is what it is.
Oh, okay.
Right.
So you were on early. So I was talking to you in the chat earlier. Okay. Word. So this is just your display name. Okay. Word. So yeah. How you doing, brother?
Yeah, man. I'm loving the topic. It's a hot topic, obviously, and yeah, we are. I feel like we are the generation that is turning that steering wheel in the right way. It's kind of going off track with all the abuse that's being hurled back and forth between men and women. It's about time, men play their roles, and I think it's more down to us. This topic, it's not down to be left alone by the men and be brought back by the. I mean, at the end of the day, the father is the father. He, in a relationship, he is the one that is gonna have more influence on the future. Motivation of a child. Obviously, the mother has a huge role in the upbringing and taking care of a child. So I think it's great that this conversation is being had. Like I myself, I'm in the UK. My parents are mixed, so one of them's Arab and one is white. So I probably don't have much. I don't have much.
Are they both Muslim? Sorry to cut you off. Are they both Muslim too?
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. So they are, yeah, and what do you call it? There isn't there isn't much in common, probably with your experiences, but I think it's universal. A mother, a father, and a child, that relationship, it's universal, especially from a Muslim perspective.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, brother. And thank you. Hey, thank you so much for those kind words, brother. And I got a lot of cats from the UK that come in, so that's why I automatically was like, "You're in the UK" because of the time zone or whatever like that. My bro Curly, he's Somali. He lives in the UK and stuff like that, and stuff like that. So, it kind of ties in and whatnot. So, that being said, yeah, we have to have more of these conversations as men because, especially coming from a community, right? And this could be not only the Ummah, right? This could be any religious community. I feel that the secular feminist movement is basically trying to water down anything that has strong male leadership being the center and the core of its society, right? So, of course, as an Ummah, we know the position that men and women have, right? And this whole thing about equality, right, is people make it out to be everybody has to be exactly the same. No, you know what I'm saying? Everybody has their different role, and those roles are just as important. It's just as important. The feminine role in society is just as important as the male one, right? But it's sometimes one gets more important than the other. Like we go to war, right? The male perspective and the male leadership is going to be more important, or a natural disaster happens. Male leadership is going to be more important. But if there's times where things are more peaceful and you're more about cultivating culture and things like that, then you can think about more of the female side because that's something women really like, right? Women are more into, in my opinion, this is my personal opinion, women are more into developing culture and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be poetry, literature, things like that. That's something that they gravitate to. Men were more builders, right?
You know what I mean? There is overlaps, but those overlaps should never push into each other too much, and just we can't become one gender as they want. As they want, you know.
Yeah.
Men are men, women are women. That's it.
Yeah, and that's why when I started this conversation, brother, I was just like, only biological men can understand this, because now with the concept of masculinity, they act like, oh, one day I can just wake up and I understand what it's like to be a man. And especially, no, it doesn't work like that, bro. No, it doesn't work like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, as a man, you are treated from the day you are born a different way than a woman is. You're more held accountable. Like, people talk about men aren't being held accountable. No, if you're a man, you are going to be held accountable, period. Like, the laws, we statistically, there's more of us in jail. The laws of pretty much every single nation hold men more accountable. Women that do similar crimes get less time, or they get less punished. There's more social welfare programs for women and things like that. If let's say, get pregnant out of wedlock, or they suffer from abuse and stuff, or they're homeless and stuff. I even thought about the other day. I was like, I can't remember the last time I saw a homeless woman. You know, I'm being real. Like, I don't see homeless women around. I see nothing but homeless men. You know. So society gives women the benefit of a doubt for being the
I remember when I was in school. I mean, this is I didn't come to make it personal. I didn't come on to make this personal. When I was at school, though, I did get a lot of teachers putting me down, making me feel like an animal, making me cry. And obviously, I'm 25 now, so that was a long time ago. I'm talking about here, like, before the age of 10, but it didn't feel okay. You know, I'm just remembering this now when you said from a young age, and it just puts it in perspective. Like, just wondering, you know, if they were not talking to a little boy, would they be brave enough to say the same things? I don't know. If it was a little girl they were talking to, would they be brave enough to say the same things? And why shouldn't they?
Yeah,
you know what
exactly.
I mean?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? At that age, we don't know the difference. So we should just learn morals, but that's not what they teach us. They teach us that because you're a boy, you can't do this and you can do that. And no, boys and girls are the same. We haven't turned into men or women yet, but that kind of traumatizes you and makes you a weak man. Obviously, not everyone. I hope I'm one of the exception. I hope I'm, doing something right, trying my best.
I feel you, brother. Thank you for sharing that story, man, because I know it's hard for a lot of guys to express things that we've been through because we don't want to come across as being soft. I talk about in my channel, some of my videos about my mental health journey and struggling with mental health, not only with the pandemic, but through things I've been through in my life and things like that. So what you just said right there, I can also say in the U.S. school system, there's what's known as the school to prison pipeline. So in particular, young men, especially young men of color, were treated by a lot of teachers who especially aren't from our culture, like a threat, or like we're more viewed as being harsher to be disciplined and things like that, and they're more harsh on us. The only thing they really want us to do is excel in athletics because that makes the school money and stuff like that. But academically, intellectually, and spiritually, they don't really invest in boys. And the way they teach things too is more geared towards feminine style teaching styles, right? Because they actually have done studies that men learn better learning things this way and women learn better this way. Well, what happened in the 60s was the feminist movement was like, hey, girls are being disenfranchised. It had been historically disenfranchised. So we have to make all the curriculum geared towards women,
Yep.
And so, and through a whole generation, each generation of men after that kind of under the bus. That's why boys are struggling academically in the West. Like you would think that in the West, with we have all this technology and things like that, that we'd be ahead of the curve. But actually, our contemporaries across the sea, where I talked to brothers from Pakistan, Bangladesh, India, Africa, all the countries in Africa, they're academically more ahead of us than we are of them, even though we live in more privileged, developed countries. Why is that? It's because the teaching style here is geared towards woman and woman's interest in particular, more than developing strong male leadership.
Even then, actually, I think Nisa has just unmuted herself. I don't want to.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask this from you fellas. What is it that men need from women? Not just your girlfriend, your wife, but your sister, your mother, your auntie, so on and so forth. What do the women in your life need to be doing?
You want to ask that first, brother?
I'll have a quick go. We need a lot of support. We need loads and loads of support. That's what we need. We need a lot of support to be men. I mean, it's not. I don't think it's difficult to define being a man. It's taking action, taking a lot of action. The body of a man is designed to have more stamina, more muscle, more this, more that. His mind is designed to just keep shouting at him to work, work, work. This isn't something, that's available to as much quantity to the other gender. But what the other gender has a lot available is support and is kind words. I think the way women speak is very powerful. Just the speech that comes out of women is the most powerful thing, more powerful than the man's.
Exactly.
And can change more. But apart from that, support, the men as well have to support their women. Of course, it's a two-way street.
Yeah. What's it called? I agree. And to piggyback off of that, brother, I think about when my parents divorced, that was a cataclysm which set me on a wrong path for a very long time. I bounced between living with my mother and then my father, and they had completely different morals and completely different parenting styles, right? And so I noticed that when I always suffer from low self-esteem, right? As a kid, I always suffered from low self-esteem, especially, and I'm not trying to beat a dead horn, and make it seem like I had the hardest life. Alhamdulillah, at least my parents did love me. They may not have been the best parents, but alhamdulillah, I had them in my life. I had always had a place to live. Always had a roof over my head for the most part. I always had food at the end of the night. So I'm never going to, my parents did their very best to raise me, but they did have their flaws, right? So I always suffered from low self-esteem. And I remember when you hit puberty as a boy and you start going through testosterone and hormonal changes and stuff, you start getting interested in girls. One thing I always suffered from was low self-esteem and confidence, and I didn't know how to talk and hold myself up. I shrugged my shoulders a lot. I had very bad posture. I struggled to look people in the eye when I talked to them and things like that. And when I was with my dad, he was just like, where are you learning that? Where are you learning this? Like, I didn't teach you that's acceptable. Like, you know what I mean? But my mom, for instance, she didn't take out time to kind of make me feel like, that I was, worthy of, I guess, the attention from the opposite sex. You know what I'm saying? Because of my parents' divorce, she was working a lot. And then she, got back and tried to get remarried and things like that. So her focus really wasn't on me. And I feel like one thing that women kind of need to do is slow down and take time out to encourage your men, because you don't realize, yes, your words matter a lot. Like, I remember when my mom did say I looked really nice, that would like make my day. My mom would just like, oh, look how handsome my son is. I got a haircut. Oh, look how handsome my son is. Or I had a nice shirt on before I went to church or something like that. She's like, oh, my son looks so handsome. Yeah, like that would make my day like more than anything that my dad could say to me, because this is my mother, right? And I always was looking for her approval. I was always trying to make her proud more than my dad,
No doubt.
Yeah. So, brother, so since you're, I'm interested about your situation. So, if you're willing to share this, how did your parents meet? Are both of them from the UK? Is your father who's Arab, or I forgot which one of your parents is Arab? Were they from like an immigrant and they came over to the UK? How did that kind of happen?
Yeah, they met overseas. They did meet overseas, and then from there. Actually, I was born in Eastern Europe, which is where my mom's actually from. But nobody, the world system doesn't recognize Eastern Europeans the same as they recognize someone from those quote unquote Switzerland's, France's, Texas, Canada, etc. So really, I and them, when we did come here, were just seen as the others, especially in school. This is where I saw it the most. So literally, especially I saw it in that second school. When you turn 11 years old, you start applying to go to another school. So I get into another school, and I'm still being. So I was talking about before the age of 10. In the other school, I'm still being made. I'm still being put down by male and female teachers. I'm not playing any card here, because I looked like, and I still look like anyone else, and I speak like anyone else in this society. So they couldn't tell, but that's not what it was for them. It was, they play on your weakness.
Yeah.
Only the few survive. This belief in survival of the fittest, this secular belief that only the fittest survive. And then when, sorry, my voice broke there.
No, go ahead,
when they see weakness, all they know is to push that weakness further, especially in a man. And obviously, it might be different though if you see a little girl showing weakness, you'll have to feel sorry for her. Like, and I don't think we should stop doing that. I just think that we should stop making men weaker and weaker and weaker. And I mean, I think it's already started. I think it's already started on a good scale, from behind the scenes, not in the mainstream. I think it started on a big scale, but it's from behind the scenes at the moment. But if we're not talking about it and putting it out there in the right way and using more and more examples, I think we're not gonna see its fruits, ripen in the right way. So we have to change the mainstream narrative as much as we can. We have to get it.
Yeah, I feel you. Hey, Nicer, I don't know what's wrong with your connection. I think your connection's bad. You were mentioning that one time your connection is bad. So sometimes your Wi-Fi is bad. It'll kick you off and kick you back on and stuff like that. So find some place good at stationary.
Zachy is, but him,
Yeah, you're borging real bad. Yeah, I think you need to get to a good spot because when you talk, you're borging really bad. And I noticed that you've been coming in and out, maybe because of your connection. I think maybe you're using your cell phone or something, because that happens a lot when you use your cell phone. I know I had that problem a lot. That's why I kind of just, whenever I stream, I'm kind of forced to just use my laptop. Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess she's having some connection issues, but yeah, what's it called? Yeah, when you mentioned that noticing weakness, bro, like that's something that I had learned the hard way to kind of keep it boiled inside and show the best of my ability at all times when I was in public. Because yes, man, when people found out what I was insecure about, they ran with it, bro. They freaking ran with it. And it just really wouldn't stop. So I had to learn to when I kind of meet people in public and new people I don't know, I don't show them all of myself, right? I let that take a very long period. I let them show who they are before I show them. Out of the I'm on defense, right? I'm on defense. I like to see people out, see their personality, see for what kind of attributes they have, because I learned the hard way. We're taught to be honest with people. We're taught to be our most authentic selves all the time. But that trust in the hands of a wrong person could destroy your life. You know what I mean? It could be marrying somebody that manipulates you to destroys your life. It could be befriending somebody, another guy that's involved in shady activities, criminal activities, that ends up running your name through the mud because you're associated with him and he gets you into his lifestyle. I mean, it could be a lot of different things, right? And you are the company you keep. So I learned that, I let people take a very long time to see who I truly am as a person. And sometimes it sucks because I love letting people know what kind of character I have, who I am as a human being. But at the same time, I know that's not best for me potentially. So I have to refrain from that. So a lot of the times I'll just let somebody do their spiel, talk about themselves and things like that. So I can kind of play my cards right, if you will.
That's a very interesting point. Taking time to let people find out who you truly are. Yeah. I never thought of it like that, because I've always been told I've always been told that's a negative. So that's interesting that you're saying it bravely. That's what you do. I'm glad.
Yeah, brother. So yeah, I'm also curious, brother. How'd you end up finding this channel? Because I think this is I haven't been streaming on a regular, so now that I'm gonna be streaming regularly again, I'm having these conversations. I kind of want to know, how people kind of stumble upon this. The Ship Will Sail. I know I've met him through a channel, Nicer. I met her from another channel. How'd you find my channel?
I cannot. I think you commented. Ah, yes, you must have commented somewhere, and then for some reason, I liked that comment, so I went on the channel, and for some reason, I liked the channel. So and look, I can't remember. So put it down to decree.
Yeah, yeah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the best of all planners, right? So, so
Subhanallah.
yeah, alhamdulillah. So yeah, bro. I am in a lot of especially Muslim YouTube. I do a lot of Dawa channels. I'll get in the comment section, you know what I'm saying, and frequent and stuff like that, you know. And I always try to leave positive comments, right? Because like there's a lot of trolls in the internet in general. And if I have nothing nice to say to somebody, I'm not going to say it, right? You know what I'm saying? And we're taught to basically hold our tongues and be aware of what we're saying. And I think in this internet age, when you go to comment sections, just people just saying the most negative things because they're cowards, right? They're hiding behind the screen. They know nobody knows who they are. They know nobody's going to be holding them accountable for the things they say. So they say something. So if I have nothing positive to say, I'm not going to say it at all. So when I do go to the people's spaces and channels, I try to say things that encourage, you know what I'm saying, people and that try to bring people together, you know?
You want to hear something funny? So
yeah, go ahead.
So we're coming up to about an hour now. This says 51 minutes in front of me. Mm-hmm. I was talking to someone today and said, you know, all these YouTube videos, these short ones, how are they useful? It's just someone putting an idea in a short amount of time. Why aren't all the videos at least 1 hour so that you can skip to the part that you need, and then if you need more context, you can rewind, go forward, etc. Because now you can use timestamps and whatnot. And then he said, actually, if you've had a look recently, all the videos are 1 hour. So what we need isn't the right videos. What we need is to talk about things like this, like what's going on? Why are the comments like this? Why are there so many trolls out there? Why are there so many idiots out there? How do we keep in a good state of mind so that these idiots don't affect us? Anyway, my brother, it's been lovely. I have to keep quiet. I just remembered because it is 2 a.m. here. So
no, it's cool. Yeah, it's cool. I was gonna get some last words actually, brother, from you and Nicer. And since you mentioned that it's like about an hour, whatever, like that. Yeah. So I'm probably gonna keep these videos like around an hour max, unless we get more people in the chat. We only got like a couple people here. So that being said, because of the numbers, I'm gonna keep it like around an hour. But you know, we'll get more people in because in particular, I do have a lot of viewers from the UK. So I noticed that during the weekends, I get a lot more people in if I show up a little bit earlier in the day. So inshallah, I'm going to do an open mic probably on Friday or Saturday. And by all means, if you know any people that would like these conversations, by all means, like, share, subscribe, brother. You know what I'm saying? Especially if they're from the Ummah, you know what I mean? Brothers and sisters, you know, especially because I feel like a lot of, you know, this ties into also the message of Allah that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decreed, you know what I'm saying? Like what the roles in our deen are and what we're supposed to do as human beings.
Thanks. All I can add is Ameen, and may Allah bless you all. I've got to see you later. So bye everyone.
Well,
it's nice to meet you.
Salam.
Abde, is that how you pronounce his name? Abde?
Yeah, I think it's Abdi.
Abde, okay. Yeah, you're a pretty cool young cat. I really enjoyed listening to his insight, and yours too, especially the emphasis on the support part, which I think I do pretty good so far as the few channels that I follow that I feel are positive, solution based, and etc. Things like that.
Yeah. That's what's up. Yeah, it's really cool. Especially, I really like when I get people that catch this from outside of America, because it shows that we still, no matter what race we are, no matter what community we're from, that other people are kind of waking up and gradually having these conversations. And I'm glad to be a part of that because I noticed, for instance, at work, people can't have these conversations because they're worried about getting in trouble. They can't have them amongst their family because they're worried about getting in trouble. So we have to create spaces where we're going to create productive conversations like this. And, you know, inshallah, man, I hope, you know, I can have with people from all backgrounds, right? Like, I don't want people that are black to just get into this channel. I don't want, or, you know, African-American, whatever you like to call it, like melanated people, right? I don't want just melanated people who come to this channel. I don't want just, you know, Muslims, you know, coming to this channel. I don't want just Hebrew Israelites or religious people in general to only be only people that come to this channel. I want to, we can find some common ground and kind of like learn from each other. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, go ahead.
And that's definitely one of the things I love about the internet is that you meet people from all over the world, all different backgrounds, and then you find you have things in common with them, you know, music, food, all the other kinds of things that make each individual culture, ethnicity great. I love experiencing that. And since I don't have the means to go around the world in person, this is the next best thing to me. So this your channel is really cool for that because I know you got what's the other brother's name, Curly. He's also from the UK too. I've had the pleasure of speaking with him on one of your previous lives too. So yeah, things like that is really cool to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's what's up. And thank you, Nice, for coming. Hey, you're always welcome here. I think you were the very first person to actually comment on any of my streams. So you always have that.
I was the first. Oh, that's
I think you were the first. It was either you or Sir Ism, but I think it was you.
Yeah, it could have been Ism.
Yeah, I messed up on Ism's channel the other day, and I didn't mean to. So I got on to one of his panels, and I was trying to talk, and there was some, you know, there's a lot of arguments happening on his channel. I guess he didn't hear me. I guess he didn't hear me. And then after that, I started talking. Basically, I did was trying to have a sidebar with Shirley. I was just like, hey, Shirley, you know, you're going to be streaming later or whatever like that. And he kind of got upset about it. And I didn't mean to do it like I was trying to undermine him, but I was trying to talk and basically nobody was vibing with me. But then when I was trying to have a sidebar there, everybody was like, why are you trying to have a sidebar conversation? I was like, I'm not getting in the middle of this argument. I'm not choosing sides. I don't even know what you guys are arguing about. But you know what I'm saying? You still invited me on, so. But, you know, yeah, that guy's, you know, he's good, man. You know, he's my brother.
Yeah, that'll happen when there's multiple people on a panel. They start to get over talking to each other or whatever the case may be. It's kind of funny to watch sometimes, but if it gets too out of hand, I'll just exit the live stream and go find something else on YouTube to watch. But hey, that might be your channel one day. You never know.
Yeah, man. I mean, he's been on the come up, man. I think he's going to get real big because his setup is nice. He's able to incorporate his, like, you know, he has his music intros and able to like do like a DJ thing, kind of like how Kuda does. You know, he does the DJ thing and then he does his commentary. He has a great personality. So people gravitate towards people that have personality. You know what I'm saying? He has his little catchphrases and stuff like that, you know, and that's very unique.
Jack.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He has his own thing going on. He stays in his, and he knows what he's talking about. He stays in his lane. You know what I'm saying? So he found his niche. So I wish the very best for that brother. You know what I'm saying? I hope his channel continues to grow.
Yeah, it's like I admire his personality too. He's what you call no chill, no filter, straight up candid. He'll just whatever pops into his mind will come out of his mouth. That's something I really admire in people because too many people are guarded, are afraid to speak their mind, and things like that. But you know, somebody like Islam comes along, that's really refreshing to see, you know.
Yeah, and yeah, that's like I said before. Yeah, nothing but support for that, brother. I got my robe and Larry. Yeah, I haven't seen you in a while, bro. Nice to see you again, man. I know that this is the first time I'm seeing you in a whole minute, so I'm gonna do streams daily, and I'm gonna do an open mic regularly, weekly as well. So I hope to see you on that one, inshallah. That being said, I'm going to end this on a good note. Thank you so much for being for viewing this. If you're viewing this, thank you so much for everyone that partaked in this conversation, whether it be in the comment section or, of course, you know, coming up on the stream. You're always welcome to everybody's voice be heard as long as we're respectful to one another. You know what I'm saying? I want to keep this going. So that being said, to my Muslim brothers and sisters, assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. To my Hebrew Israelite, brethren, say shalom. You know what I'm saying? Have a wonderful night. Regardless of what you believe, hope your day ends well, that you get enough rest, and think about those that are less fortunate, people that are sleeping on the street, people that don't have that belly's empty. They should always be in our thoughts, so we can never, ever, ever not take for gratitude the pleasures that we have in this life. Wish you guys the very best. Take care.